Joseph Joestar is one of the most recurring characters in all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, appearing in Part 2, 3, 4, and having a few small cameos in Part 5. He is also one of the best JoJos in the entire series, although some would disagree. On top of his skills with the ancient Sendo technique Hamon, he also possesses his own stand. His stand, Hermit Purple, is the odd one out of the main Stardust Crusaders team, but is probably the most helpful stand in the entirety of Part 3. First of all, if you enjoy the content this channel is putting out, be a lamb and hit that subscribe button to support the channel, as well as clicking the thumbs up to let me know you enjoyed this video. Your support thus far has been incredible, and I'm excited to see where this channel goes. Let's start off as always by talking about the stand's appearance. Hermit Purple's form is classed as a natural, non-humanoid stand. This means its form resembles something found in nature and does not take a humanoid form. In Hermit Purple's case, it takes the form of multiple purple vines covered in thorns, which protrudes out of Joseph's hands and acts as an extension of his body. Hermit Purple represents the major arcana tarot card, the Hermit, which symbolizes introspection and contemplation. These meanings are displayed by the stand's powers of divination and psychic imagery, which we'll discuss shortly. Hermit Purple displays no personality of its own and does Joseph's bidding completely. Joseph gained his stand Hermit Purple about 1 year prior to the beginning of Stardust Crusaders. This is the time that Dio was pierced by the stand arrow and gained the world. Hermit Purple is a close-range stand and has incredibly high durability. The vines are durable enough to completely support Joseph's weight. Joseph's stand can extend a fair distance and be used in multiple ways, such as attaching to objects above and using the vines to swing across gaps or long distances, similar to if he was swinging on a rope. These vines can also be used to bind an opponent completely so they can't move, or to grab things that are a short distance away from Joseph himself. Whilst this stand may have high durability, it severely lacks in destructive power as well as range. Though it can extend, it cannot travel too far ahead of Joseph, so he must stick to close range distances with his enemies. Hermit Purple falls incredibly short in face-to-face battle, as it does not hold any techniques that can actually be used in combat. All it can really do is whip Joseph's enemies or bind them so they can't move. However, strong stands and physical strikes can cut straight through the vines, as shown when Dio uses his vampiric strength to completely obliterate the vines covering his body. Joseph has one major advantage with the use of this stand. Due to the fact Hermit Purple takes the form of something from nature, this stand can be used as a conductor for Joseph's Hamon energy. Joseph can send his Hamon energy through the vines and into a target that is bound by Hermit Purple. On top of this, Joseph is also shown to be able to cover his own body in his vines and run Hamon through them as a defensive barrier. This barrier stops Dio dead in his tracks, as Hamon is especially effective against vampires. Whilst Hermit Purple may be the odd standout of the Stardust Crusaders team due to it not being suited to combat, it does have one incredibly useful technique, which, without it, the Crusaders would have never even known where to look for Dio. Hermit Purple holds the power to gain information with the power of Divination. This technique allows Joseph to create psychic images through any object or material which has the potential to produce or form an image, such as cameras, televisions, or even sand. Joseph can determine the information he wants to see whilst creating these psychic images. This is how the Crusaders obtained the Polaroid image of Dio, and also how they managed to find Dio's Twitch live streaming channel on the TV. The first time Joseph displays his divination powers to Jotaro is at a restaurant where he produces the psychic photo of Dio by smashing a 30,000 yen camera. This psychic photo shows Dio in the current time. Joseph can also use Hermit Purple to produce live footage of whatever he wants to see by using its powers on a TV. This use of the TV can produce messages by shuffling through TV channels to formulate an informative statement useful to the group, such as when it claims Kakyoin as a traitor. Hermit Purple can also use the TV to produce footage in real time of what Joseph wishes to see. During the lovers' battle, Joseph uses this power to see inside his own brain to help Kakyoin and Polnareff locate and defeat Steely Dan's stand. If he wills it, Joseph can also produce the image of a map using his divination abilities, as shown when he created a map in the sand in the Empress fight, which then leads Joseph to the precise location that he wants to go to. Hermit Purple can also inspect electronic devices' inner workings to determine if they are working as they should do or if they are faulty. This can also be used to determine if an electronic device has been tampered with or not, which is shown in the battle with Terence T. D'Arby. Now, I do have a few final thoughts to get out here about Hermit Purple. Joseph claims he has to destroy a 30,000 yen camera every time he uses this power. My first thought was, how could Hermit Purple differentiate what is a camera and what isn't? Secondly, this statement is later proven to be untrue, as Joseph is able to use his stand on TVs to show live footage, and in my opinion, live footage would be much more useful than a Polaroid. However, when it comes to Dio, it is actually much safer for Joseph to produce a photograph rather than using a TV. When Joseph creates the psychic photo of Dio, Dio gets a brief feeling of being watched. This leads him to believe that Jonathan's descendants are aware of Dio's awakening. However, when Joseph uses a TV to try to learn of Dio's current thoughts, Dio was able to feel much more strongly that Joseph was watching him. When Joseph made the psychic photo, Dio got just a quick feeling of being watched, almost as fast as the camera's shutter, and then the feeling was gone. As long as Dio was being watched on the TV, the longer the feeling Dio had of being watched. This then led him to realize it was Joseph watching him. Also, because Dio has the use of Jonathan's stand, which is the same type of stand as Hermit Purple, he was able to determine much quicker that it was Joseph that was watching him. I believe this to be the reason why Joseph must destroy a camera to produce an image, as it is the stealthiest and safest way to spy on Dio, whilst keeping himself and his friends safe. Outside of Hermit Purple's divination technique, there isn't really much use for this stand. It is useful in conjunction with another stand, as Hermit Purple is adept at binding an enemy in place. This would then allow another Crusader stand to be able to target the enemy a lot easier due to them being bound and unable to move. Though this team up technique was not shown in the series, at least not in full frontal combat. That's it for Hermit Purple. I didn't think I would have much to say in this stand analysis, however, analysing the use of his divination technique was quite fun. Did I forget anything? What do you think of Hermit Purple as a stand? And for a bonus question, which stand do you personally think is the weakest stand of all in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing to the channel for future JoJo content. Also, it would be great if you could hit that like button on this video if you wanted to see more stand analysis videos. If it gets 5 likes, I'll do another stand analysis video like this. To get notified when I release the next stand analysis video, hit that bell and you'll be notified when I release another one. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. But until next time, Bizarre Star Platinum out.